Epiphan have recently announced another model to their all-in-one production units called the Pearl Nano. And if you're familiar with the Pearl Mini or the Pearl 2, well, you can see just how much smaller this unit is, hence the name of course. Now it's a slightly stripped back model in comparison to those bigger siblings, but a lot of the core qualities are still there. The main difference really is that the Pearl Mini and the Pearl 2, they have switching capabilities, whereas the Pearl Nano doesn't. Instead, you have the one custom layout to work with. Now, before I run you through it, I just want to make a point where I really see the Nano coming into its element, and that's for when you need to bring in a remote presenter into a production. Now, much like the other Pearl models, the Nano supports SRT, which is low latency, high quality video transmission over the internet. And with Epiphan's new cloud service, this is very easy to set up remotely, and I'll show you how we can do that in this video. But before I do, let's first look at the unit itself. There are four ways in which we can input a video signal into the Nano. There's the Ethernet port for IP video, a USB port, a 3G SDI, and a HDMI input, which also has a HDMI pass-through with very little to no latency. All of these inputs support embedded audio, but you do also have balanced line level, dual XLR audio inputs along with RCA. Now in terms of output, we have the one programmable HDMI out, which we can set to any of the inputs or our channel output, the Ethernet port for our live stream, which actually can also be used to power the Nano if you have a PoE Plus network switch, and an SD card slot on the front for our local recording. There is actually also the ability of expanding that storage by adding an SSD via the expansion port underneath. And as this unit is rather compact, for example it will even fit in a 1U rack, the front has some physical buttons as the screen is too small to be a workable touchscreen, which is what you find on the other Pearl models. The Pearl Nano's admin panel, which is accessed just by typing in the IP address of the unit into a web browser on any device on the same network, is the same panel as what you'd find on the other Pearl models. So if you've used those, you'll be able to use this pretty much straight away. The key difference really is that you only have the one channel available with the one custom layout to work with that's designed to really handle up to 2 video sources. So first, let's set up our encoding settings, mainly our resolution and frame rate, and then we can create a custom layout. Once that's done, this is what's going to be streamed or recorded or both. Although you can only set the one recorder, which is fixed to the recording layout we've created, you can still run multiple live streams going to various platforms at the same time. And the Nano is actually very well equipped when it comes to streaming protocols it supports. You really are future-proofing yourself here a little, as some of these protocols are going to be more widely adopted as time goes on. It really does make for a very capable encoder, especially if you're just needing to show the likes of a presenter on camera along with their slide deck. Now we can actually access the admin control panel from any device over the internet if we link the Nano to an Epiphan Cloud account. Now there is a free version of Epiphan Cloud that gives you some basic device management and controls, but to get full access to the admin control panel that you see here, you do need to be using the paid-for service. Then from the one web page, we can manage all of our Epiphan devices and remote control them over the internet, not just from your local network. So you really can see just how powerful this is, especially if you have multiple devices to manage spread across different networks, even continents. That's all I really want to touch upon in terms of cloud, as I just want to show you how we can access the admin panel remotely using it, because this is how we can easily use a Nano for bringing in a remote presenter using SRT. Now I could send this Nano and a camera to a presenter's house who's going to dial in remotely to a show that I'm running from my Pearl Mini here, or this Pearl Mini could actually be anywhere else in the world. As the Nano is linked to my Epiphan Cloud account, as soon as this remote presenter plugs it into their network at home that has internet, I'll gain remote access through cloud. So in this example, I can see that my colleague Richard has his Pearl Mini online and it's showing in our cloud account. Now, Richard is based on the other side of the country and I want to bring him in as a remote presenter in my production that I'm running from my Pearl unit. So to do so, first we need to find out the public IP address of his Pearl, and there's a tool to do that in the admin panel. We'll make a note of it and then do the exact same for my Pearl unit, as we'll need both IP addresses to point the Pearls at each other over the internet. If you have access to the Pearl, you can view the public IP address directly on it. I'm then going to go back to Richard's Pearl, find the channel that I want to stream to my Pearl unit, and set up a new SRT stream. Here I can paste in the IP address of my Pearl unit, followed by a port number. This is going to point Richard's Pearl to mine. I'll then go back to my Pearl unit and add a new SRT input, again pasting in Richard's IP address followed by the same port number. This is going to make sure that my Pearl unit can reach out and do that handshake with Richard's. Now I can go back to Richard's Pearl and start the stream, which we can see has started. And jumping back to my unit, we get confirmation of that. We can see the stats of our connection, and I can fine tune the buffer based on how it's faring, really to strike a balance between latency and perceivable video quality. Once I'm happy with the connection, I can now add this input into my layout on the Pearl Mini, ready to take live in my production. In this example, my Pearl Mini is here with me in my home office, but it could be anywhere else in the world, and this process is exactly the same. It's a very streamlined way to manage a low latency SRT connection, especially if the remote presenter isn't the most technically savvy person, because you can literally take control over their setup. Of course, we can also initiate another SRT stream to the Nano so the remote presenter can see the other presenters who are in the production so they can interact with them. And because that HDMI output on the rear is programmable, we can simply set that just to output the received SRT stream so they can have that running on a computer monitor or a TV at their end. So I hope you found this video useful, guys. If you have any questions on the Pearl Nano or the Pearl units in general, then do just put them in the comments and I will get back to you. And if you want to find out some more information, just head over to the Holden website. Thank you very much for watching.